cats old enough to catch their own prey gather here beneath the podcast for a clan meeting. Welcome to Paws Clause, a podcast where we read the Warrior Cats books in chronological order. I'm Jill, joined by my co-host and Tired Dragon Scout, and today we will be discussing The Power of Three, Book 1, The Sight. Scout, how's it going?
It's going good. I'm tired. I'm a dragon. I'm a mom, if not biologically, then spiritually. I'm fighting goblins that are throwing stink bombs at me. I love my doomed child.
Last, wow.
Yes.
What's going on with my fucking brain?
Yesternight,
we had the awesome opportunity to play a playtest of a new tabletop RPG, and it was, if I say so, hella fun.
It was so great. I had the best time. Love to get to play on the same side of the table as you, since a lot of times when we're playing together, we're I'm a player and you're DMing. So I loved that. I love trying out the new system, hanging with my friends.
Yeah, it was a good time.
As most one-shots do, it became a two-shot, so I'm excited to get back to the second half in a little bit when we schedule that.
Yeah. I also will let our lovely listeners know this is, I think, one of the first episodes where we do not have a podcast in the backlog, so we're actually going to be talking about things in the more present tense. You're not going to get news from 3 weeks ago.
Damn, that's true.
Not that there's, I think, much in the way of news to discuss.
There was a thing about AI with
I don't want to talk about it. I'm so sad.
I know. Why do they keep doing this?
No, and I saw it last night, and when I was watching the video last night, I was like, oh no, because I was like, that shit is fucking AI. Some of those cats, like, it is just so clearly done.
Oh man, I have to say, is this on the Warriors website? I haven't seen this video.
No, it was on Twitter. Do you remember that there was that one that was doing an adaptation to Little Dragon Studios?
Yeah.
They got basically a cease and desist.
Ugh.
From the official team.
Great, love that.
It's worded not in a way that like it was a bad thing, but it was like, hey,
we're doing this new thing now.
Yeah, they were like, hey, if it's doing exactly this, if it's exact retellings, there's a chance that copyright's gonna take you down, so we just want to like let you know before it happens, which I think is nice. Like, I would much rather people like be let know before all of their hard work is immediately just nuked off the internet.
Yeah. Oh, there was a conference. Oh, it was a Tencent conference. I see. Yeah. Tencent is the company
behind the animation, and they have a history.
What have they done? Did they do Arcane?
They, I believe, did Arcane. They also are behind Tencent Games is like, there's like a bunch of games that they kind of do as well. They did PUBG Mobile, a lot of, I think, like mobile game kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Is what I believe. And then they have like their own streaming website and stuff, but they just have a reputation for being very embracing of AI. Which is why, like, before this conference even happened, people were like, please don't let the Warriors thing be AI. Like, beyond just the general, like, every time something new is announced, don't let it be AI sort of thing. But, yeah, it is very clearly. Now, I will give them a little benefit of the doubt. It is just that they used it in their reference images for their concept art, quote unquote. But it does still worry me
with it, which, like, hire me to do it.
Well, and that's the thing is, like, one of the folks pointed out in the Discord, like, why is the most art-centric fan base building a project with the widest reach on AI art? But like,
it's not like there's a dearth.
The fans. Yeah, I don't I don't want to make assumptions about the people behind the project. But it is not a fan-run project. It is a corporate-run project. It is unknown if there are any people on the team that are like genuinely fans of the series, or if this is just what they're working on because that's their job. Which, no judgment to folks who,
no, absolutely
have to do that. But does feel like I get what our folks in the Discord are saying, because it does feel like a slap in the face to do a series that has such a strong artistic community behind it, to do AI with that series. So I do feel like it feels gross. Like, yeah, especially because, goddamn, we've been waiting for...
This is like 21, 22 years in the, like...
Yeah, like, people have been clamoring for an animated Warriors basically since the beginning.
Yeah.
And for us to wait so long only to be met with this presentation, which I'm not gonna lie, looks kind of like garbage.
Yeah, it does. It looks pretty hot garbage, the stuff that we are being shown.
The stuff
from
that we've
images.
seen looks not great. They've got some bipedal cat stuff going on. Like, it's... Anyway, yeah, it just feels very disappointing. And, I remember when we first mentioned it on the podcast that there was going to be an animation, I was like, I'll see what... we'll wait and see, because we've been teased before, so...
Yeah.
Guess this is waiting and seeing. That's kind of a bummer to start us off on, but,
yeah, well,
just keeping y'all up to date. It's bummer.
We can hope that this is like the very, very early stages, but again, there's no world in which you are making Warrior Cat's character designs with AI. If you're going to steal designs, do it like a fucking... Do it with conviction. Don't just do it by coding your AI to do it for you. Come on. Yeah, I mean, we've talked at length about... I still am pretty convinced that there was AI in the art making, at least in like touch up and stuff, or something of the stuff in the new guide book. Like, it's just I'm in hell. I'm in hell personally.
Yeah.
This is my personal hell. But hey, there's also been, that whatever, like a study or like thing recently that's like, this just in, consumers less likely to buy product if they can tell that it has been, created using AI. And it's like, wow, no shit. We've been saying that, but glad that maybe, y'all are seeing it in your dollar signs, so you kind of understand it,
Yeah, for real. Anyway, how's the prey running?
Running pretty good. Just before hopping on, I had some nice warm chocolate chip cookies. Dad made some chocolate chip cookies.
Shut up.
Let's see. What else? What did I have this week that would be interesting to talk about? I'm blanking. Food good in general.
Food good in general. I went to a convention last weekend, which is why we did not record. And convention was up in DC, which means I got to go to my favorite sushi place in the whole world. I'm not telling y'all the name of it because I don't want to have to wait in a long line next time I go.
We're not about to blow up their spot.
No, it was very good. I really wish I had taken a picture of how much sushi we had, because they brought 3 of the 4 of us ordered sushi, and they brought it out on like a big metal serving tray. It was great.
Hell yeah.
The salmon was actually like, so, I like sushi, but I'm very picky about my sushi. I don't really care for much other than like tuna and salmon. The salmon was so good this time. It was like melted in your mouth, which like I have not had like salmon sushi that like soft and creamy before. It was so good.
Oh, that's incredible. That's so good.
And then we also went to a ramen place. We ordered some pizza.
Hell yeah, that all sounds so good.
It's just a good time. I love eating good food with my friends.
It's a great time. It's so good to eat good food with your friends. What a wonderful time that is.
And then this week I'm going to, because my Saturday group, somehow I was reminded of this during Saturday spell jammies, was reminded of, it's called Cowboy Caviar or Texas Caviar. Are you familiar with this dish?
Hold on, it sounds familiar. I'm sure if I look at it, I will know. Oh, yeah.
Love that shit. So I got stuff for
Hell yeah. It's like a bean salad.
Yeah.
With sweet corn and
bell peppers and stuff. Yeah,
bell
so
peppers.
Good. And it's got like a nice vinaigrette on it. So I did get the stuff to make that. So tomorrow during my lunch break, I will prep that to eat it for the rest of the week.
Ooh, hell yeah. Man, I have been on bean salad TikTok the last couple of weeks.
Really?
So
because I've been on cucumber TikTok. Do you know this
overlap.
man? Do you know this man Logan on TikTok?
I saw like one of them and it was so upsetting to me to watch him like do terrible things to a cucumber that I have scrolled past each of the subsequent ones.
He doesn't do terrible things to cucumbers.
He did what the one that I saw was pretty. There was a lot of things going into that little plastic tub, and it was
it
too
the
many
jalapeno
things.
pepper one? Because that one kind of made me cringe.
No, it wasn't jalapeno popper. I swear it was like tuna salad or something. It was not a good time.
He did do one that was like everything bagel, and it was like smoked salmon and cream cheese.
That was
and all
the one.
Yeah.
That was the one.
I don't know how I feel about that. Like, but the first
it was just the way he was putting the cream cheese into the tub with the whole cucumbers.
Yeah, so I've been following him for quite some time, because he actually like. Before this summer, when he just like started posting, like literally this man is eating at least 1 or 2 cucumbers every day, I swear to God.
Before cucumber summer?
Before cucumber summer, he makes his own kimchi. And so like I would follow that because like it was just like kimchi ASMR.
Oh, hell yeah.
Or like any sort of Korean food that he would make. Like he did a lot of cold noodles and stuff. And you know, I was like, I'm never going to make my own kimchi, but damn, is it satisfying to watch people tear that big ass head of cabbage apart and mix it all together. I don't know, just something about watching a kimchi making video. I will watch it every time. Does not matter who the creator is. I will watch a kimchi making video. But then yeah, it started with like a very simple cucumber salad, which actually looked really good. And then it's just gotten more and more unhinged. He was making it in a lake the other day.
I saw him come out of a lake, and I was like, I can't do this.
Yeah, that's where it reached a point of, boy, what are you doing? But no, I think he makes like a lot of really good looking food. But I am definitely on cucumber TikTok.
I'm looking back at the everything bagel smoked salmon one again, and it's just, there's no way that it's not properly mixed. That's the thing that I think makes me the most like bonkers about it, is that he just kind of shakes it around a little bit, and I'm like, it's not going to be all the way mixed. All of your cream cheese is going to be right at the top, and then all your cucumbers at the bottom. I can see them in this video. They're all naked down there. Anyway, I have vaguely been on cucumber TikTok. I've been mostly, but I've been on bean salad TikTok.
Man, you gotta send me some of these bean salad recipes, because I love a bean salad.
I'll send you some bean salads. There's a guy on my TikTok feed that's like, the best way to get in your protein and your fiber is to prep a bean salad. And I'm like, okay, your energy is like a little bit over the top, but like, I'm here for a bean salad.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll send you some. There was one that I saw that was kind of like a Southwestern one, sort of akin to the Texas caviar here.
Nice.
That looked really good.
Man, I can't wait. I'm so excited. I was telling Eric about it too. He was like, why are you getting all, like, what are you ordering? stuff for? Because we ordered groceries today because our Baldur's Gate playing ended up running late, and we were like, I really don't want to go out and get stuff. Like, let's just order the groceries instead. And I'm like ordering like 15 different cans of stuff. He's like, what are you making? I'm like, okay, so it's called this, and it's got this. He's like, I don't want to hear anymore. I'm like, okay, so you don't want it? He's like, no, absolutely not. So I'm just gonna have a big container
more for you,
to munch on the entire week, and the way I am so stoked about that.
Hell yeah.
Because I love my husband dearly. He does not like corn, so anything with corn in it, like whole pieces of corn, it's just a no-go.
I can understand where he's coming from. There is a textural element to corn.
It is a texture,
that,
but I like the texture is the thing. I like
the texture too.
It's like it's American boba. It's got like a little popping bubble sort of feel if it's cooked right.
No. Thinking about a fucking boba tea, but it's full of sweet corn.
Honestly, that might fuck.
I would probably try it.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry for that. Let's talk about some art.
Yeah, talk about some art. Once again, Poland doing it again. I believe this is our same artist that we had spoken about previously. Oh gosh, I'm blanking on the name, but it's the same one who did, somebody commissioned him to do an art piece in this style of their OC, Warrior Cat.
Yes.
So this is a great cover. It's like this very dark, gloomy sort of sky. There's a big portrait of Jaypaw here. There is
I love how big his ears are.
His ears are so big. I really like that if you zoom in on this, he has constellations reflected in his eyes or sort of in his eyes, which I think is a great way to sort of visualize the specialness of him in that way and sort of tie him into StarClan there. The very like ominous pinkish reds at the bottom I think are really cool, unusual choice. It almost looks like a lava pool,
Yeah.
The thing I'm thinking of specifically is the way that they depicted lava in Fantasia, the 1940-something animated movie. In the Rite of Spring, they have like some really cool lava effects animation, and this kind of reminds me of that. And then we've got our trio there, kind of like looking very ominous with with only their eyes lit up.
I was gonna say, I love that you can tell which cat is which, and that like they all have like their like signature eye color there. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, and it really calls. It's like almost a callback to the original Wayne McLaughlin cover, which I have down here as well, which is the trio, and it's really striking that they each have their eye color. They are in a circle instead of what had previously been sort of the square portrait image on the Warrior cover. I believe it was this series and then series 4 as well, where they like Wayne sort of played with circles instead of squares, which is fun. Before, I believe after that, he retired from it and passed away shortly after. And then some on the not as good side. We've talked in the past about these Russian woodcut style images. This artist has done a lot of really great ones. These ones are not it. We've got some Jaypaws looking absolutely unhinged.
Yeah, it doesn't look physically. No, you know what that second one reminds me of?
What?
Have y'all seen Jinx the cat?
Oh, it is like Jinx the cat. Oh, God,
I love Jinx the cat. But Jinx the cat has a very distinct kind of like, it's
a
not
stare
cross-eyed.
like
what is it called when like the two wall-eyed?
Yeah.
I thought wall-eyed was like when dogs, oh no, that's whale eye, isn't it?
That's
when
whale
dogs
eye.
do that thing.
When a dog looks at you out of the corner of their eye, that's a whale eye. When your eyes point in two different directions, that's a walleye.
Okay, yeah. There's like a very distinct walleye to Jaypaw.
I'll post them in the Discord when the episode comes out. Oh my God, they're so silly. There's this one of him with like a leaf falling on his head, and his eyes are so just like, it's a way to depict his blindness for sure.
Yeah,
it is like a choice, but it does make it very hard to take him seriously. or to find like there is a certain like mystique and power, I would say, to Jaypaw in a lot of ways. That these images just don't quite capture. Oh, he looks so silly. But other than that, that's my art corner today.
I love it.
So silly. You have anything else to talk about here and how's the prey running, or should we just get to the story?
I think we should just get to the story. Sorry, I'm posting something that once the Discord channel opens up, y'all are gonna get a laugh out of it. But until then, it will remain secret. All right.
Okay. Paint me a word picture.
We meet our newest protagonists, J-Kit, Lion Kit, and Holly Kit, as they imagine their futures as warriors of Thunder Clan. After all, their parents, Squirrelflight and Brambleclaw, are very important to the clan, so they have a lot to live up to. J-Kit, despite being born blind, has big dreams of becoming a warrior, and his sister Holly Kit believes her best way of helping the clan is by becoming a medicine cat. Leafpool, ThunderClan's medicine cat, seems averse to the idea, but takes Hollypaw on as her apprentice anyway. Jaypaw is sour about being apprenticed to Brightheart and spends majority of his time sulking. Hollypaw soon learns she's not cut out for medicine cat life. The idea of treating wounds is good in theory, but in practice it sickens her. At the same time, Jaypaw meets with StarClan and learns that his destiny, which he reluctantly accepts, is to become ThunderClan's next medicine cat apprentice. The pair switch roles in the clan, even though Jaypaw is still bitter about his destiny. However, it is soon clear that he has a magnificent power. He can travel through the dreams of others. Using this power, he meets with Spotted Leaf, and also finds himself one night in the place of no stars. Tigerstar and Hawkfrost meet with him and offer to train him to become a great warrior despite his blindness. Spotted Leaf appears and stops the conversation from continuing, telling Jaypaw to never return to the Dark Forest. This power also helps him to heal, as he is able to convince Poppypaw to stay and fight her illness a little longer. Lionpaw attends the gathering and meets Heatherpaw, a Wind Clan apprentice, developing a crush on the pretty she-cat. During this gathering, Graystripe returns to ThunderClan with his new mate, Millie. Graystripe is welcomed back, but the vibe is shifting. The other clans seem uneasy about ThunderClan's place in the new territories. Despite Graystripe returning, Brambleclaw remains deputy of ThunderClan, as he is the more logical choice. At the next gathering, Little Cloud shares an omen of an unfamiliar bird filled with maggots, and the clans believe it to be about ThunderClan taking in non-clan cats as warriors. As tensions rise, Squirrelflight suggests a daylight gathering, where the clan's apprentices will all compete in a variety of games, and the clans will all share a meal together. At this gathering, Jaypaw remains in camp, much to his disappointment, but soon has a vision of Lionpaw and Breezepaw, Crowfeather and Nightcloud's son, being buried alive in one of the games. He races out of camp and manages to save them alongside Crowfeather. At the ceremony and prizes, Heatherpaw of Wind Clan, Pouncepaw of River Clan, Owlpaw of Shadow Clan, and Hollypaw are all awarded victories, with Jaypaw receiving a special mention for saving the other two apprentices. Later, Jaypaw learns of the prophecy surrounding him and his siblings by walking in Firestar's dreams. There will be 3 kin of your kin who hold the power of the stars in their paws. All right.
We're so in it.
We are so in it.
We're so fucking back.
I really enjoyed this one.
I am on record on this podcast saying that this book caused me to sort of fall off of reading Warriors as a child. This read of it, I had a much better time, and being able to sort of overcome some of my general just frustrations and grievances with the trio themselves, I was able to enjoy this as like a really fun book.
It really was fun. I had totally forgotten that Hollypaw, like, for like 2 months, trained to be a medicine cat.
ADHD queen, honestly.
You know what? Truly. She was like, oh, hell yeah, I can learn this shit. And then she was like, okay, maybe I can't learn this shit, but I'm in too deep now, I guess. Oh, no. But no, I thought it was a really fun book. I think it at least gives us a good, like, establishes, like, Jaypaw and Hollypaw at the very least. Like, you kind of get
Lionpaw is still kind of like, meh, here.
Here's the thing. I know you've got a thing about Jaypaw. I got a thing about Lionpaw.
That's also fair.
To me, this man is a nothing burger. Like, he is just there half the time. But especially I felt it in this book. Like,
they really didn't know what to do with him yet.
Yeah, I don't feel like he does much significant other than almost die.
Yeah.
But, like, I feel like you get a really strong sense of who Jaypaw is and who Hollypaw is and, like, their driving forces behind their character. Because Hollypaw over here is, like... I think Hollypaw, if you were to describe her in the alignment chart, she would be lawful neutral. Like, she is a very by-the-book kind of cat.
I need her to stop being a cop sometimes.
She does kind of, yeah.
She's got a little bit of, just a touch of cop energy that is overwhelming at moments.
She's got a little paladin energy.
A little bit of a paladin energy, it's true.
And that's probably why I liked her so much.
There's just so many moments where it's like, but the code says this. Okay, yes, we know the code. We know the code, Hollypaw. We've been over the code. But there's an earnestness to her that I really appreciate. And I appreciate there's a lot of, I think the reason that Lionpaw stands out as being so flat here is because there is a really significant amount of depth to both Hollypaw and Jaypaw here that I don't think we've necessarily seen, like, to quite this extent in our protagonists, like our point of view protagonists for the main series up to this point. I think Firepaw, like, he had a lot of conflicts to deal with, but he was always very much like the cookie cutter, like, ideal protagonist in a lot of ways. Very like shonen protag feeling to Firepaw, I think.
Yeah.
Which is great. But
he truly is.
But we have Hollypaw being really like not feeling like she really fits into the world in the way that she wants to, and really struggling with identity and what she wants to do, which I like a lot. And then we have
Hollyleaf queer icon.
Yeah, damn.
Wow. I'm learning a lot today about why I probably liked Hollypaw so much. Hollypaw was always my favorite of the trio.
She's good.
I really enjoyed her. But yeah, no, I 100% agree. I feel like maybe we've gotten, because I feel like Brambleclaw had like a lot to him. But I feel like this is the first time we're getting it so early on.
Yes, exactly. And like in that first, in Midnight, we got, I feel like, a lot more Squirrel Flight, and we got Brambleclaw, but Brambleclaw was still like, I think in their conflicts, and in like their character flaws, Fireheart, like Firestar and Brambleclaw have both been extremely continuing to be like very likable and relatable, like to me personally. And I think the thing that strikes me so much with Jaypaw and Hollypaw here is that they are like going for a totally different kind of character.
I agree. That
is really fun. And like, I don't there's some things I relate to with Jaypaw, but that boy drives me crazy. Like, I'm softer on him this read, but there's still some points where I want to put his ass in a crater like that one image of Yamcha. Get in there.
I love how when you Google Yamcha, the first thing that shows up is Yamcha death pose.
Poor Yamcha. He didn't have to. We did him so dirty. He already lost his wife.
Oh my lord. But yeah, so I think that is very interesting. I think these are very divisive characters overall. Because I think they are so different than what the Warriors protagonists were.
Yes.
And honestly, I kind of like it.
I like it. I think the thing is that they feel so much more like kids, which I think is good for like a, middle grade novel series.
For sure.
They feel much more like child protagonists than we had with either of our two. Like Squirrel Flight kind of gets there a little bit. She's a little bit of like spunky child protagonist. But Fireheart / Firestar always kind of felt like an adult.
He really did. From the very beginning, he did kind of feel like an adult.
Which probably, probably the reason that I have always related more to that is because I, as a person, have always been like a full-grown adult child.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll get some Lion Paw stuff. He is kind of a nothing burger, especially I think in this book, and I think in like a lot of this series.
Yeah.
I feel like he ends up better when he is kind of a duratagonist or like secondary figure in the next arc, when like he's fully an adult and stuff, like spoilers for that stuff, I suppose. But these guys are going to be around for a bit.
Yeah. I mean, they are the protagonists of this series, of this arc, at least.
Yeah. And we've talked about that, like, this one and kind of like going from the New Prophecy into this and then even into Omen of the Stars, I feel like are all kind of like so much more interconnected than the first arc really was compared to the other stuff. But yeah, I had a good time. With it. This came out, I don't always read the published dates, but I try to remember to. Kate Carey was our Erin here. This came out April 24th, 2007. I think that it opens really strongly with a lot of like, we get to see some clan life, but we also get introduced really well to our initial characters. Let's see. My first note is just complaining about Spotted Leaf, which we do all the time.
Yeah.
But there was just a moment where Leafpool said something about Spotted Leaf and said that Spotted Leaf was very wise. And I was like, Leafpool, she's not. She's got you fucking fooled, babe. She's not wise. She just makes shit up. I can't believe we're still in the Spotted Leaf bog. I can't believe she's still here.
Yeah, dog. It's just so much.
There is such an arc. I need a supercut of all the times we've like talked about Spotted Leaf on this podcast, because it's incredible to see like where we started in Spotted Leaf's heart with Spotted Leaf to now where I'm so fucking tired of Spotted Leaf.
There's so many other cats you could choose.
There's just so many other cats.
I did really enjoy, like, I didn't mention this in the summary because it was, a decent amount happens, but like some of it is also just not as critical to the plot overall. Crowfeather saving Jaypaw from drowning, like,
I loved that scene so much.
Knowing that's your kid. The fact that like there's so many like low-key interactions between the three and Breezepaw.
Yes!
Just like, it makes me a little insane, actually.
And this is one of the things that I think makes our particular reading order so fun here.
Yeah.
Is like, we have this context.
They're so clearly like hinting at it.
All those moments. Also fucking, damn, Squirrel Flight, you didn't have to throw shade at Crowfeather like that. At one point,
no,
Squirrel
I think she was good to do that.
Crowfeather, I believe Wind Clan once had cats that went wandering further than they should. Damn, come for his ass. Get him. Oh, yeah, that was really good. I loved him saving his fail son without knowing it was his fail son. And subsequently, I really liked the additional scenes at the end, like the frantic pace and energy of Lionpaw and Breezepaw getting trapped in the collapsed badger set, which is when Jaypaw goes to save them. And we see Crowfeather like being a good dad here. He like really does. At the point that we are in this reading, he really does seem to care a lot about Breezepaw and Nightcloud, even if they don't necessarily have like, they're not like lovey-dovey, but I feel like they are genuinely like respect each other.
Yeah, and I do feel like at the very least, like he's patient as hell with Breezepaw because Breezepaw is a pain in the goddamn ass.
Breezepaw is such a pain in the ass.
He's so annoying. Like,
he is.
All of the Wing Clan apprentices, too, are like, oh my god, Breezepaw thinks he's so cool, and we fucking hate this kid.
He's such a nerd. Oh, it's so true. We've got two, Crowfeather currently has two sons who really think they're the bee's fucking knees.
Yeah. Damn Crowfeather. What's it in your jeans?
Damn. Yeah, so I really liked that. I really liked the moment of Nightcloud being really protective of Breezepelt. You can really feel, like, the lore there that they had other kits that didn't survive the litter, and so this is, like, her one remaining son. She feels really protective of him. She really loves him a lot. I thought those moments were really nice. And, yeah, I'm so in it for all of, like, the little tidbits of relationship drama that we get out of the corner of our eye from our protagonists here.
It's so funny. All of this shit is happening in the background. And these apprentices are just, like, especially Jaypaw, constantly trying to, like, suss out what's happening.
That boy is snooping.
He's so funny, because he's like, hey, Mothwing, you know what my favorite part of being a medicine cat is? No, Jaypaw, what's your favorite part? My favorite part is talking to StarClan. Is that your favorite part? And he's just like,
I need like the TikTok thunk noise.
Yes. The Vineboom sound effect every time he asks a question.
Yeah.
He is constantly just like, Leafpool seems a little on edge when Crowfeather shows up. Wonder what that's about. Something seems weird between my mom and Ashfur and Brambleclaw and Ashfur. Wonder what that's about. That's the thing that I feel like I do like about him is he's a little nosy gossip. Like
he's just so nosy.
I just really appreciate that.
That works for me a lot better this time. The thing that he gets off on such a wrong foot with me specifically with how badly he treats Brightheart.
Yes, I agree. That is an unforgivable moment of his.
Unforgivable sin. He is miserable to her. It's her first time being given an apprentice, and he just has this chip on his shoulder about it. Like, she's just like fucking half a war. At least she doesn't hear his thoughts, because he's so rancid in there.
He really is.
Where he's like, she's only got one eye, so she's only half a warrior. They just put me with her because they don't think either of us can ever be worthwhile to the clan. My dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I think that there is a lot of good, or at least, I don't know if it's good, but it's interesting nuance with Jaypaw's whole, the way he views his blindness, the way he deals with it, the way that he lets it shape the way he thinks people think about him. Like, it's frustrating to read, but it is I feel like it's very real. I feel like this is a thing that a child would go with. Like, if you're a child with a disability, I feel like this is a phase at least that you would go through.
And I don't think he's necessarily like entirely unfounded in some of this, because there are cats who are like, well, is J-Kit just gonna end up joining the elders like Longtail?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
There's a lot of folks who are questioning like if he is going to be able to be a warrior. And so I feel like a lot of it stems from that, and he's like, okay, well, I have to prove these people wrong. And you know what? Hot take. If he hadn't been such a little shit to Brightheart, I genuinely think Jayfeather probably could have been a warrior.
I agree.
Because, like, he very clearly, like, can rely on his other senses. He is not helpless.
Yeah. The thing that drives me, I think, the most insane in this book in particular is how he spends, like, the whole book being up his own ass about, like, they just won't let me do anything. They think I'm just useless, blind J-Kit. And it's like, you are being punished for breaking the rules. You know how many times you broke the damn rules since you began? We start this book with you as a child chasing a fox, okay? Like,
yeah.
We go, you go out by yourself, you walk all the way to WindClan territory, you almost drown in the lake when you're not supposed to, when you're supposed to be working with your very hard-working mentor, and then you get confined to camp and you're like, it's because I'm blind.
Yeah.
Please learn your lesson. I'm begging you to learn your lesson. But yeah, and then he sneaks out again. And then he goes to the moon pool. Like twice.
I really did like him sneaking to the moon pool. I thought that was really fun. I'm so sorry. It was fun. I liked the way he could, like, sense that there were cats at the lake before them.
I really love that stuff about it. Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, damn. Knowing what I know now about Dawn of the Clans, like, knowing that the lake was the original territory that all of the clan cats came from. Damn.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It is really cool. I like it a lot. So he's, like, you know, following in the... And it's gonna have a little bit more meaning to it later on in this particular arc.
That's true.
His connection to the past there, but I think it is very interesting.
Oh, yeah.
I liked the sneaking out bit to the moon pool. The rest of it, I was like, my boy. It's nothing against you. Your siblings are being punished as well.
Please. I don't mind. Yeah, I don't mind that he goes to the moon pool. I think that's a really cool scene. It is just that he never learns his lesson, and then he doesn't really, like, he basically gets rewarded for not learning his lesson too, which drives me a little bit crazy. But then he does have a lot of trauma with the green cough outbreak and, like, learns a lot there, and those are the moments when I like Jaypaw a lot. When he is really, like, actually having a moment to introspect and think about the gravity of being a medicine cat. And, oh my god, he's so fucking mean to Leafpool too. He's such a bastard in this book.
He's a little bitch, but I love him. That's the thing, though, is I love, like, little bitch characters.
I know, he's just so much of a little bitch. We will get to a point where I'm, like, totally 100% on the J train. We get there, like, later in the series, but this book in particular is, and maybe I don't remember much about the next two books, but I feel like also, I mean, he sneaks into his grandpa's brain at the end of this book and gets the prophecy that he is a special little boy. And I feel like that sort of puts that takes us a few rungs back down the ladder of Jaypaw's, like, progress to being like a character who can introspect. Yeah. We'll see how that goes. I do love a lot of things about him. And I do really love his moments. I like that he's so snoopy, even if he shouldn't be. And even at one point, Yellowfang is like, you should not be here, mister. Well, this is probably a good moment to talk about Magic Watch. We're here, baby.
We are in Magic.
We are so fucking here. This is a fantasy ass book in places, man.
Yeah.
Jaypaw is, he's got sight in his dreams. He has, like, dream sight, and he can, not only does he have, like, empath powers where he can sense people's emotions, but he also can, like, dream hop. He can go to sleep and enter people's dreams and see what's going on in their dreams. He is just bebopping all over the damn place.
He is. I love it.
It's great. I do really, really, really love the scene where he goes to sleep next to Poppy Paw. It's Poppy Paw, right?
Yeah, when he goes to sleep next to Poppy Paw because she's, like, almost dead, and he's like, hey, girl, maybe don't.
Yeah, he guides her spirit back basically from the edge of Starkland and, like, gets her back in her body. I think that I had forgotten that happened so early in the series. It happened in this book. And that is such a wonderful Jaypaw moment. That is, I think, that and him, like, digging to get Lionpaw out of the sand after the collapse, I think, are my two like highest Jaypaw moments for this book.
I agree. They were really good.
Oh, ringing the did Tiger Star send the Bramble Claw signed leaf pool bell? Unfortunately, we get the confirmation here in this book. Somebody in StarClan, I think it's Blue Star, says that they did send that sign. So it was not Tiger Claw intervening. I thought that the whole thing where they were talking about whether it would be Graystripe or Brambleclaw that continued to be the deputy. I thought all of that was a really interesting part of the story.
I agree. I think there was a little bit of me like kind of being a little frustrated with Graystripe because he seems kind of butthurt about the fact that there's another deputy. And I'm like,
yeah,
Graystripe, you've been gone for like 2 years. They're not 2 years, but like a year at least.
It's at least this is their second year at, like, we've started their second year at this. So it's been like a year and a year. I would say maybe 14 to 16 months.
Oh wait, we can use the wiki. Sorry,
shit.
I forgot. The wiki has a timeline.
Shout out to the wiki timeline.
Shout out to the wiki. I love how it's years before Firestar.
I know, it's so funny. Okay, let's see.
Dawn is when Graystripe is taken, so that's your 5, and the site is your 6. So it's been about a year, because it was Leaf Bear in both of them.
Yeah.
So it has been about a year that he's been gone. Like, Graystripe, I love you, and I don't blame you for being upset that, like, you're not the deputy anymore. But, like, ThunderClan, they can't go without a deputy for a year.
Yeah, for one of like the first things out of his mouth being "you didn't wait for me," I was like, "Damn, Graystripe, that's pretty hot. That's like,
yeah, that was rough." Although I really did like that Firestar was like, "If it had just been me, I would have waited for you." I'm like, "Damn, those people who ship these two, they know what's up."
That's a fucking Yowie moment right there.
Certified Yowie moment.
Certified Yowie moment.
No, genuinely, the fact that Firestar was like, if it was just me, I would have waited for you. That did get me a little bit, but I was also like, Graystripe, it's been a year. What did you expect?
Yeah, dude.
So love him, but I was a little frustrated with my man.
For sure. I did like the details of like he and Millie were a little bit on edge about being around so many cats again. They kind of wanted to sleep on their own for a bit to, readjust. That's very huge, introducing a new cat to your household energy for sure.
I was just about to say that is like exactly what it is when you introduce a new cat.
Which was so funny. And then, that was a rough Graystripe moment, but the Graystripe moments I really enjoyed in this book is as we get a little bit further in where we see Graystripe like accepting that he is no longer going to be the deputy, but still sort of coming forward and being part of the clan and sort of supporting Brambleclaw in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And bringing a certain amount of like vim and like his Graystripe style to things. I thought it was very like mom always tells us to do our chores and dad always like takes us to the movies when there was that one moment when Brambleclaw was like, I keep trying to get Firestar to go and attack ShadowClan and he won't do it. And then as soon as Graystripe is like, we should attack ShadowClan, then Firestar comes out and is like, you're right, Graystripe, we should attack ShadowClan. Poor Brambleclaw.
I know.
I mean, they were right. They did need to attack ShadowClan. ShadowClan
again is getting a little too big for their britches.
They really are getting too big for their britches. Admittedly, a little bit later in this arc, Blackstar is going to get his ass entirely handed to him in a really interesting way. So we are going to have that. I do want to shout out Bracken for a moment. I was so excited when he became Hollypaw's mentor.
And that little scene with him and Jaypaw, where Jaypaw's I was just going out for a walk, and Brackenfur's like, all right, just be safe out there. And he's not like, are you sure you don't need someone to accompany you, young Jaypaw? I just thought that was a really nice moment.
He's a good dad. Like, I know he's not Jaypaw's dad, but that has the most, like, good dad energy to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I had totally forgotten that he was the one who ended up being Holly Paw's mentor when she swapped from being a medicine cat to a warrior apprentice.
Mm-hmm.
I was so genuinely excited when he came into camp. I was like, that's my guy! I love him.
I love him too.
Oh, we had a dog attack in this book. Sure would have been an ideal time for Millie to speak dog in the main books.
For real.
Now, admittedly, the second volume of that manga where she speaks to dogs had not come out yet. It wouldn't come out for another couple months. But
That's
still,
true. But still,
I was like, damn, I wish that she'd been able to talk to the dogs.
That would have been nice. I was thinking about that as I was reading it. I was like, damn, can't she talk to dogs? But then it, of course, left my brain.
Mm-hmm.
I liked the Longtail and Mouse Fur interactions. I think they were very cute.
Yeah.
They are an old married couple, literally. Like, they are just constantly like...
I love them.
Mouse Fur is always like, I'll quit your worrying. And Longtail's like, you need to be more careful. And she's like, oh, come on. And they're just kind of always like razzing each other. They're very cute.
I took a series of notes that was very funny, which was, the first note was, I am such a Longtail and Mouse Fur truther. And then the second note was, wait, they aren't related, are they? And then I had to go look it up. They are not. Okay, I continue to be a Longtail and Mouse Fur truther. I had to go confirm, but yeah, they are old married couple. They are elder love. I love them.
Yeah, they are never
so
officially like, I don't think they ever officially become mates in the series, but I think they were cuddly and sweet together, and I like them.
Yeah, I feel like they have. I suppose it's not necessary. Well, I don't know. What is the definition of a queer platonic relationship? Because they feel like that, but
they really kind of do, don't they?
But they aren't like they are if they would be a cis couple, but there's just something queer platonic about them, you know?
No, it's like, it's very much like life partner kind of relationship.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. In like a way where it could be romantic, it could not be. It's just like this very much taking care of each other form of love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like them a lot. I think they're very sweet together.
Yeah, I love them so much.
Oh, I think it's appropriate that we're recording this today and it's the last day of the Olympics.
Oh, hell yeah.
Here's the funniest thing. I completely forgot there was Cat Olympics in this book.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The Daylight Gathering is Cat Olympics. I had totally forgotten about it, and I can't believe there's just like a sliver of the book left when it gets pitched. I was like, oh, great, this is going to be like the first event of the next book. And then they're like, we are doing it now.
Right?
I would have actually, I kind of wish that had had a little more time to breathe. I think it's a really great idea. And I don't remember if they return to it like the next year, but I kind of hope that they do.
Yeah, I would really like to see that become like a consistent thing because like I've said, the thing I was missing the most in the back half of The New Prophecy is like, and the start of this book was like, these 4 clans all went under like an incredibly stressful experience and only made it through because they like ignored their clan boundaries and helped each other. And then as soon as they like get their divided spots, they're like, okay, fuck you. Mm-hmm. And so I really like seeing more moments of the clans like actually getting along, because I'm not expecting like these cats to always get along, because where's the fun in that? Where's the political fun in that? But like, they don't need to always be at each other's throats.
No.
They can play games. Yeah.
I'm so with you. I loved the Cat Olympics. And I do wish that we had had a little bit more of it. And yeah, I thought it was, I mean, Squirrel Flight really like MVP there.
For real.
She totally de-escalated that situation. That gathering was not going in a good way. And she was like, let's have a game. Let's play a game, everybody. What if we did this? Remember the Great Journey? Do you guys remember that? We did all that together. We don't have to, let's play some games. And I love that for her and for everybody.
I agree.
I only have 2 more notes. One is Barkface is still alive. He's got to be fucking ancient.
Wasn't he around in Into the Wild?
He was around in Tallstar's Revenge.
My good lord.
He was older than Tallstar. He is older than Tallstar by a couple of months at least. And he's just still here, and he's just still bebopping around. He's finally training an apprentice.
Damn.
Shout out to Kestrelpaw. But I was just thinking about that.
I always love Kestrelpaw's name.
It's great, and I love his physical description as well. Because he's basically dappled like a kestrel, which is where he gets his name from.
He's so cute.
I love him.
Yeah, Barkface is old as hell, basically.
I just can't believe how old. I can't believe he's just still kicking and he's still just like nothing's wrong. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like Mudfur was younger than him, I think, and Mudfur was fucking so dead,
so old. Yeah, no, he was born around the same time as Tallstar.
I mean, shout out to whatever his health and exercise regimen is, because whatever he's doing, it's working.
Shit, dude, it's true. Damn, I just looked up his family tree. Did you know Crowfeather was descended from Mothflight canonically?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
We talked about this in the Mothflight's Vision episode, I believe.
I feel like we rehash the family tree all the time.
We do go over the family tree quite a lot.
It's so hard to remember who's related to who.
The reason I remember this specifically is because I thought it was really funny that Mothflight, queen of medicine cats can't fuck, ends up with a descendant who gets a medicine cat pregnant.
Yes. It's true. It's true.
Vaguely speaking of medicine cats, my last note here is I'm starting a new segment. It's called Cinderpaw Watch.
Wee-oo, wee-oo.
Wee-oo, wee-oo. I love Cinderpaw. We're going to get a lot more Cinderpaw in the next book, which I'm really excited about. We had a great moment here where Cinderpaw says, out of nowhere, basically, like somebody says something about that somebody needs to go get catmint, and Cinderpaw is like, catmint is for Greencough, right? I wonder where Cinderpaw learned that. Why would she know that?
Where did she learn that?
The whole reincarnation of Cinderpelt through Cinderpaw thing is one of my all-time favorite things that they've done with the books. I'm so excited to see more of that going forward and to get to talk about it. There's just so much good shit going on. There is a moment, I think it's next arc. I want to say it's next arc. It's either next arc or at the end of this arc, but I feel like it's next arc. That is genuinely maybe the most emotional I've been about one of the Warrior Cats books, and probably any piece of fiction and any character, and that involves Cinderpaw's whole story, and I'm just so excited about it.
I'm very stoked.
I love her. That's it for me. Got anything else to say?
No, I think that's pretty much all I had. I just enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun little read. I'm excited to be back with the three, because I remember liking their story quite a bit.
I'm excited. Like I said, I enjoyed this a lot more this time than I did in my previous 2 times that the first time I tried to read it when I was a teenage, when I was, 13, 14, whatever. No, I would have been younger than that. Whenever it first came out, however old I was in 2007.
13.
13. I was right. Okay. So when this first came out, I just I don't think I even finished this book. I think I just had a really tough time with these characters when I was 13. Still had a tough time with them in my read in 2020. Now I had a lot more fun this time. I enjoyed myself a lot more. And I really appreciated a lot of the other scenes in this book, and the stuff happening, the general structure. Yeah, good book. I liked it.
Good book. Why don't you take us down to the Erin Corner, Scout?
Let's go. I found not too much, but I found a little bit. There's a fun little bit here. Which is when asked who each Erin's favorite of the trio was in the core Erins of Cherith, Kate, and Vicky. We have Cherith saying Lionpaw because he is so desperate to be a loyal ThunderClan cat, and he doesn't understand what he's getting into. I feel like it's a very Cherith thing to go with the sort of cardboard boy.
Yeah.
No shade to Cherith. You know, we all have our cardboard boys that we sometimes are attached to. We have Kate saying, Jaypaw is the most fun to write, but I have a soft spot for Lionpaw. He seems the noblest of the three so far. I feel like they're growing...
Sorry. No, sorry. I'm so sorry, but when people are like, oh, I just really love this noble character, like, that just does not vibe with me. But that's me as a person. I just think it's boring.
It's also very, like, I don't know that noble is the
good word for him.
It's something I would a word that I would use for Lionpaw.
I agree.
And then Vicky comes at us with the curveball. Vicky says, I love them all, especially the one who's going to be evil. It's written like that. Evil. This is the funniest take in the world. This is so funny to me. Because this question was before Dark River came out. So this is really like, I feel like this is Vicky just going for I'm going to say the thing that's going to get the fans to go bananas so that we sell books.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Oh,
especially
it's a lot.
Funny because and I was looking, there's another one later where somebody is like, you said that one of the trio was going to be evil. And I don't know. And she's like, did I say that?
I don't know about that, Vicky.
Anyway,
Lord.
The site was one of Kate's favorite books to write. And I think she did a great job. And I can see why she would have a lot of fun with this one.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. We've got shout out to Heavy Step coming back to life. Heavy Step died at the end of the last series, but he is back in the allegiances here. It's
I love
so
this shit.
funny.
I love when this happens. It's so funny to me.
Funny every time. And saved the best for last here. Not related to this book specifically, but I found this and like I had to just like sit with it for 15 minutes because I was trying to just like conceptualize it in my head. In 2010, Vicky said the ThunderClan camp was 10 acres. 10
Ma'am,
acres.
do you know how big an acre is?
Do you know how big an acre is? Because I went and looked up how many acres. What is 10 acres? We got 155 tennis courts. Those cats do not live in 155 tennis courts worth of space. I feel like she must have meant that it was the territory, because that sounds about right for maybe it's still a little big, but like reasonable maybe for their territory size, like the size of ThunderClan's territory itself. But and then I was just thinking about how often we have scenes of like a cat calling from the medicine den, like, I need help over here, and a cat rushes over, and I'm imagining that, but it's across 155 tennis courts.
Hey, Leap Pool!
Leap Pool! I'm sick! Leap Pool!
What?
Anyway, that just really
They're
threw me
selling
for a loop.
chocolate!
Oh, that was so funny. That was just so funny to me. I mean, I'm not a person who's very good at judging
oh my God, I'm
distance
so
or
bad
size
at
of a
it.
place either. So like, this isn't me like coming for Vicky's ass necessarily, but it was just so funny.
It's definitely just a slip of the tongue.
10 acres is so many acres. I can barely even imagine them living in like one tennis court, let alone 155 of them.
Yeah.
That's it for Erin Corner. What do you got for sharing tongues this week?
Oh, unfortunately not much. Again, it's very difficult to search some of these in the way that tags and such are done. And because these characters, like, this is just an introduction to these characters, like, there's going to be so much more happening with them. AO3 does have 14 tagged for the site. A lot of rewrites and canon divergence again. And, you know, I was just thinking about, like, I think the reason that is because there's just such a big cast of characters and a lot of, like, archetypes to play with in Warriors that I think, like, a lot of folks, and, like, I did the same thing, find it fun to, like, take a character who is a different archetype and say, like, okay, but I'm putting this guy in this situation instead. So I do think, like, as a series with a ton of characters, like, it really lends itself to that.
Yeah, for sure.
Tumblr was basically nothing. There is a really good, I remember reading this book when I was a kid and I really enjoyed it. There's another good xenofiction novel called The Sight, which is about wolves. And that's a lot of what the Tumblr tag was a lot of like really lovely wolf art, as well as people saying that they are talking to fairies. So that's about
Tumblr.
it.
That's Tumblr to me.
That's Tumblr. So
I've heard good things about The Sight. I should really read it sometime.
It was I remember really enjoying it. I could not tell you what it was about, but I remember enjoying it because I read basically every xenofiction I could get my hands on as a kid. But yeah, unfortunately not much out there. I even trolled through my old fan fiction likes, and they've either been deleted or I guess I just wasn't reading a lot of Power of Three fanfic because I couldn't find anything in there.
We'll find something.
We'll find something. Oh, I'm sure as we get further into this I feel
like people are going to have some thoughts.
Some thoughts for sure. Why don't we go into our Warrior Cats of the Week?
Yeah, you tell me about your Warrior Cat of the Week.
So I have a Warrior Cat of the Week and I have a runner-up.
Incredible.
I know. My Warrior Cat of the Week is Brackenfur. I just really liked him in this book. I really enjoyed like the role he plays with both Jaypaw and Hollypaw. He is huge dad energy, the sweetest man. I love him so much.
My fists in the air. I love him.
I had trouble deciding between him and Brightheart. Brightheart gets my honorary mention because, my God, someone please let her rest.
Oh,
she just deserves good things, and she's not getting them.
She has been having the worst fucking time between all of the stuff with Cloudtail in the last book and now this. Like,
yeah, just let her live.
Like, the Cloudtail stuff resolved, but still, that was like a stressful time in her life.
Yeah.
Ugh, I love her, and I love Brackenfur. Good choices.
Thank you. Who's your Warrior Cat of the Week?
When I first wrote out my Warrior Cat of the Week last week, I chose Graystripe, and I think I think Past Scout was definitely like onto something because my man's is so fucking back. You know, like, it's great to see him here. It's great to see him like taking part in that in the big battle and doing, you know, being around camp, and just like the Graystripe energy is so good. But I do think that after our discussion, the cat I would prefer to highlight is actually Crowfeather, because I really think that there were some great little Crowfeather moments. So I'm gonna say I got kind of a twofer this week.
Both of us unable to make a decision this week.
There were just a lot of good
moments,
tertiary characters here.
I agree.
And of course, as always, you basically have to assume Brackenfur is my top pick,
right.
but I just change it because I need to not always be the person that brings up Brackenfur as my Warrior Cat of the Week. He's always there. He's always lurking. Mm-hmm. You know, he lives in the back of my head all the time. I love him. Are we good? We good to go? Should I take us out?
Yeah.
All right. If you have thoughts, opinions, questions, or memes to share with us, you can write to us at pawsandclawspod@gmail.com. That's paws as in what a cat has, claws as in the part of speech, pod as in podcast. We are also on Twitter and Blue Sky at Paws and Claws, and on Tumblr at Paws Clause Pod. Listeners who are 18 years and older can come join us on Discord, which will be linked in the show notes. We are brought to you by the TWG Podcast Network, which you can find at theworstgarbage.online. Gonna throw in here, again, thank you to our wonderful guest stars last week, or last episode, who helped us with the We Need to Talk dramatic reading.
It was so good. I loved it so much.
And all of those friends can be heard on other podcasts on the TWG network. Go check them out. You can find me, if you want more of my nonsense, on Twitter, Tumblr, or Blue Sky at HumbleGoat, and see the art that I do, including our podcast cover art, at scoutwilkinson.myportfolio.com.
And you can find me on Twitter at plot_twists, on Blue Sky at plot-twists, or on Tumblr at antique-romantic. Our next episode will be out in 2 weeks, where we will discuss Power of Three, Book 2, Dark River. Read along by buying the book from a local bookstore or checking out a copy from your local library. Until then, dear listeners, may StarClan guide your paws.
TWG, the worst garbage, online.